Our first honoree tonight is Michael Davis, founder and CEO of Appriss. Please watch this video and learn a little bit more about Mike.
Michael Davis is a co-founder and CEO of Appriss, a Louisville-based technology business focused on its mission of creating knowledge for good. As a lifelong entrepreneur, Davis and his partner Young Nguyen launched Appriss by inventing Vine, the nation's first automated victim notification service. Today, Vine is used throughout the country, keeping millions of crime victims safe and informed. Over the last decade, Davis has led Appriss's transformation into an international data and analytics business focused on safety, risk, and fraud across multiple markets. The company has grown by taking on complex national challenges faced by law enforcement, exposing fraud across multiple markets, and addressing the nation's challenges with drug diversion and addiction. Appriss is the only Kentucky company to make the list of our state's 50 fastest growing private companies for 20 years in a row. In 2019, Appriss was valued in a market transaction at just under $1.3 billion, making it one of Kentucky's few privately held startup tech companies to achieve $1 billion in market valuation, which qualifies it as a Forbes magazine unicorn. Davis is a two-time winner of the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year award. Congratulations to Michael Davis on his Hall of Fame induction.
So I don't get to introduce each one of these candidates, but I get to introduce this one. And I'd like to tell you a story about Mike Davis. It was almost 25 years ago to the day that I first met Mike. My partner David Jones Jr. and I had formed Chrysalis Ventures, and we were hearing from every entrepreneur, I think, in the state of Kentucky and probably all the surrounding states who wanted money for their ventures. I was at home one night doing the dishes. The phone rang. Somebody on the other end said, "Is this Doug Cobb?" "Yes." "Is this the Doug Cobb of Chrysalis Ventures?" "Yes." "Well, I've got this great business." And I start to roll my eyes. And I say, "Well, here's how you have to do. You have to get me a business plan, send that in, we'll read it. If it's good, we'll talk some more." I hung up the phone and I said to my wife, "I'm sure I'll never hear from that guy again." And what Mike said to his partner Young on the other end when he hung up is, "I think we've got a deal." That call was the beginning of a 25-year friendship, a 20-year business association. It was the beginning of a company, Appriss, that I was privileged to be involved with as the first investor, and then for 10 years as the CEO. And as you heard, the current state of that company is a company with a market capitalization of over $1 billion. A real Kentucky success story. And I'll tell you just about my friend Mike, that he is as fine a man as you would ever want to know, filled with joy of life, and he is the most gifted natural entrepreneur that I have ever known. Congratulations, Mike, on this award.
Wow, thanks so much, Doug, for the kind words. And I'm going to start by telling you this is something I never would have imagined, being in the Kentucky Entrepreneur Hall of Fame. And when Ron Gary called me some months ago and said, "Hey, you've been nominated," I was surprised. And then Doug called me later and said, "Hey, you're going to be inducted," and I was blown away. And then I got on the website and I see, Governor Brown and David Jones, who we're all still grieving over, and who I worship and just listen to every word he ever said to me. Junior Bridgman, and I still couldn't figure out why I would be a part of this type of an organization. But, I think a lot of entrepreneurs have similar characteristics. We hear it all the time. They believe in their ideas. They want to change the world. They work really hard. I think more important than anything, they persevere. But for myself, and I think most entrepreneurs, they don't do it alone. They never do it alone, and in my case, that's been particularly true. And, when I think about people that have gotten me where I am right now, it starts with, your family, and many of whom are here, and I want to thank them. My most important person that put me here, though, is the woman I married 33 years ago, my wife, Kathy. What you ask of your spouse, it's not fair, it's not right, the sacrifices they make along the way, and she should be right here next to me. If she wouldn't kill me, I would make her come here right now next to me, but I can't do that. But there's another person, and you've heard his name, Young Win, as co-founder. Appriss doesn't start without him, and it certainly doesn't survive the first few years without him. And it's an amazing story how a kid from Bullitt County connects in with a first-generation immigrant who walks out of Vietnam and lands in Louisville, Kentucky. But that's a partnership and a relationship that's 30 years old, and it's one of my most cherished. So thank you, Young. You can tell from Doug, our relationship is so close. Doug was the first guy really to believe in Young and I. He really helped us think through a business. We had no idea what we were starting to do. And for him to not only invest, but then later come and join us as a CEO and a mentor. And, for 9 years, it's where I learned really how to be a CEO from you, Doug. And thank you so much for that and our friendship for 25 years. And then finally, I have to tell you, Ron Gary. He's been on our board for 8 years, and there's nobody who I've felt more excited to get to know as a serial entrepreneur and just a optimistic cheerleader who helps you just get excited about everything you're doing. And so I really want to thank Ron for everything he's done for us and that continues to do. And then the last group I have to thank is our Appriss colleagues. You never build a company alone, and many of our folks are here, and our executive team is the strongest I would have ever guessed we would have seen in this business. They're so talented, they're great leaders, they're great people, and they are who drive our growth today, and we're just getting started. I mean, I literally believe this company will be 3 or 4 times its size in the next 5 years, and it's because we've got a team that's just fired up about driving our mission. So there's 3 things I'm going to leave you with that I'm really reflected on that I'm proud of. And the first is that we've built a scaled tech company in Louisville, Kentucky, and it wasn't long ago people didn't think that was possible, but it is possible. And when you look around and you see these entrepreneurs and who are all over our state that are starting tech companies, I really believe Kentucky can be a technology player, and we're on our way. So that's exciting to have had a part in that. Second, Appriss has always maintained a North Star. Our mission, Knowledge for Good, is just another way of saying doing well by doing good. And whether we're helping crime victims or we're helping catch criminals or fight substance abuse or prevent fraud in the country, these are missions that make communities better, and it's why our people come to work every day. They're excited about the mission, and we've been able to maintain that very positive mission for 25 years. And then the last thing that I'm most proud of is I look back over 25 years, and there have literally been thousands of families flow through this business. People who paid their mortgages and put food on the table, sent kids to college. And that's really the role that entrepreneurs are all about. It's not about money. It's not about fame. It's about creating opportunities for other people, and this company has done it, and it continues to do it, and I'm excited about that. And so I want to thank Brian, Awesome Inc. I want to thank the Hall of Fame, and again, thank everybody for coming tonight. Appreciate it.